All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bruno Galan talk show. I got with me Victor Rosas, who is doing bare knuckle fighting lately. How you doing, Victor?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Uh,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, bare knuckle, it's a different story from the
so
last
before
time we
I
spoke.
before I hit the record button, I saw I got something going on there.
Yeah, so I got this is a new thing they just put on, a little custom splint that they have on here. I don't know if you've seen, I just posted some pictures the other day
I
of
didn't
the
know. No,
surgery that they did.
I missed it.
Yeah, so from the last fight that I had, somewhere in the first, second round, somewhere in between there, I ended up breaking my right hand and I completely snapped the third metacarpal in half. And there was a displacement of 8 millimeters. And then the fourth metacarpal fractured at the base as well. So my hand is in pretty bad shape. So I had to have like surgery in here, and they have a titanium plate and about like 6 screws to put it back in place. So it was
So
pretty
the
bad.
metacarpals are, I never did my doctorate in medicine. Um, um, can you point to the hand? Where is it exactly?
Yeah, so I'll show you on the other hand.
Yeah,
So, so like the middle finger right here, that's the third metacarpal. So about like
don't single it out now.
right in the middle, that's where it just snapped. And then the fourth one is going to be like the ring finger, and it was down here at the base.
Okay, and I mean, this is interesting because, like, anyone who does like martial arts or boxing or whatever always gets told, like, hey, you hit with these two, except
Mhm.
in Kung Fu, I think. I don't know. And so is it like, so the middle one is like one of the correct ones,
Yeah,
and then this is the one you're not supposed to. So
right.
you think it's a distribution like it was more on this side? Do you think it matters in the end? Just the impact would have done it
Um,
no matter what, or
yeah, from what the doctors were saying, the impact would have done no matter what. They said that I punched correctly. It's just the force that was behind it kind of just transferred over after it snapped, and then it just kind of works its way down and then fractured the other one as well. But yeah, I mean, you can't see it through this, but like my knuckles are, they're bigger on right here than the ones down here, and that's from all the impact right there, repetitive, like either on the heavy bag or actually fighting. So, and my right hand is just the same way. And he said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the way you hit. It's just there was nowhere else for that force to go, and it just snapped it.
okay? And where did you hit the other guy when that snapped? Do you know?
Um, I think it was an overhand right. I could be wrong. When you're in there and you're just, you're throwing, it
Yeah.
gets mixed up a little bit. But I believe that I probably hit him like close to the top of the head. Um, that's why I tend not to throw overhands so much in bare knuckle. He was doing a great job, I would say, of dipping his head down.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of shots that I think I would have landed a lot more flush, but he was kind of tilting
Like
down that
this
way.
area, yeah.
Yeah, so like I probably caught him because I did cut him like here and I cut him over here as well. So it was a little bit higher up in the head than I would have liked. I cut him across the middle of his brow as well. I think a couple other places, but I'm assuming one of the shots closest to the top of the head is the one that fractured it and snapped it.
So you've done now like two fights in bare knuckle, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it with the adrenaline and all that? Does it like sub the? Is it like a big difference where you're like, oh, this is a lot more painful, or with the adrenaline, does it just it's all the same?
So I mean, for this one, I think the adrenaline maybe helped me a little bit more with probably the amount of pain that I was going through with my hand, especially having to withstand that
Right,
for
the
like three
hand,
to
right.
four rounds. Um, it still hurts. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the first fight that I had, I didn't really feel anything. I mean, I felt like one shot in there wasn't a huge difference to me, the striking, besides getting cut. But of course, like bare knuckle, you're gonna get cut.
Yeah.
But for this one, yeah, when like after I broke it, I knew I broke it. I was like, there's something wrong. You could tell like my output in the fight wasn't as high as I would like. I mean, I still outstruck the guy and had like a really big percentage connection rate, but I personally know that I would want to throw a lot more than that, and I think I could have finished him if I hadn't broken my hand so early on. But yeah, having to deal with that pain, I could totally feel it. There's a part in the fight, if you ever go back and watch it, where we kind of tie up against the ropes, and you can see I'm actually hitting with the palm of my hand because it hurts so bad to turn it over.
Keep
And then
busy.
Yeah, and then I look back at it now and I'm like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense because when I took the wrap off the wrist, you can see the bone popping up and pushing into the skin on the top of my hand. And then if you see the X-rays, you can see that there as well. Um, but with the left hand, even my left hand was killing me.
Yeah.
Probably like fourth round, third, fourth round, it started to hurt too. And again, these knuckles right here, anytime I would hit, it just felt like I was hitting a brick wall or something.
When you throw hooks in bare knuckle, or I guess maybe in general, or maybe there's a difference. You can tell me. You go like do you go this or this
So I mean, both end up happening, but I like to turn it over this way,
for the
especially if I'm closer, or I feel like I can get my hips and my shoulder and my bottom behind it a little bit more, and then you're connecting with these two a lot more than kind of like reaching out this way. You might end up connecting with the bottom part right there. I mean, that happens. You could kind of see it's at a point right there.
yeah
It's just from hitting repetitively as well. But yeah, you try to do that, but like I said, as long as you're turning it over a lot, then you still can make a good connection. But it's pretty much preference, I think.
yeah I think from what I heard and is that like this when you have like all the gloves and all that like you can give it a bit more of a oomph apparently I don't
Mhm.
know and but this is more like for Muay Thai MMA range is more like realistic for where you want to hit and all that. I don't.
Yeah. When I'm like I said, when I'm closer up and I'm
Yeah,
really throwing my body behind it, I'll turn it over like that. It's
yeah,
just it does feel a little bit more comfortable to go palm towards yourself.
yeah,
But once you get used to going palm down, you can really feel a good connection, solid connection there.
yeah. So, are you like? Do you feel like you're way more careful with target selection, like where you're aiming, stuff like that? Do you tend to throw more at the body to avoid like the skull, or
Not so much.
no?
I feel like that one being my second fight in bare knuckle, I
Yeah,
feel like I'm still kind of learning a little bit more as I go. Shot placement was different in this one. I did want to create more cuts in this fight, which I did, but I also hit a little bit on the top of the head, a little bit more than I did in the last fight. But again, I don't think I threw any overhand rights in the last one, or at least not as many. And this one, I decided, you know what, like I think there was something open. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it.
okay.
It landed, but I paid the consequences with my hands.
I'm guessing uppercuts might be really kind of like for a good swing. I'm taking a guess, and let me know if I'm completely off
Mhm.
here. I guess if you don't go bare knuckle, but you want to do a big swing, I'm guess like a thing with uppercuts is they're hard to land from afar. That's the thing, but
You leave yourself open a little bit
yeah,
more, I feel like, too, a lot of the times. But I did land a few uppercuts in that one, and I did notice that, I think I might throw a little bit more uppercuts in the next one that I do.
yeah.
Um,
Off the top of my head, I was just thinking like how to avoid the skull, right? So you go to the other side.
right,
That
yeah,
was
exactly.
that was the extent of my thinking there.
No, it's a good thought process.
Genius
I'd
level
much
thinking.
rather I'd much rather hit the chin than the top of the head. It's really smart.
I'm like, how?
A little more give there. Yeah. No, but definitely. Like even during the fight, I wanted to throw more uppercuts in that one, but like I said, just once my right hand was feeling
No,
like that, it
don't
just
let
didn't
the
want to do as
comments
much.
get to you. I've seen Instagram comments. I've seen it. Shit happens in a fight. It's but yeah, and it's just like like, oh, why didn't he do that? And yeah, you don't know. Maybe he messed up. Like, what didn't he defend a takedown this way? Well, maybe he messed up his hip in sparring and didn't feel like saying it at the
Yeah.
press conference. Like, not you specifically. I'm just giving a
Right.
random
Right.
example, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it is what it is. And
Everybody's a
you're
critic,
winning
right?
because the first fight you were winning, and then you got caught, and they stopped it. And by default, it was like doctor stoppage TKO against
Yeah.
the first one, which you were winning, and then you won the second one. So congratulations there.
Yeah.
And everyone knows you won the first. So
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that first one got turned to a no contest, anyways. If you
oh
didn't
really?
know
Is that
that.
what happened?
Yeah.
How did that?
Mhm.
Because that was at the beginning was a loss, right?
Yeah, at the beginning they scored it as a loss, which was kind of crazy as well, because it's like,
So
I was
how
winning
how
that
did they
entire
change
fight.
it?
So I mean, I have a couple theories. I don't know which one's correct,
Yeah,
but I know that when I went in to do like the media stuff for the second fight that I had, one of the commentators came up to me and was like, "Hey, I want to give you some good news. I heard it got turned to no contest. So I didn't even know about it. So awesome. Um, we talked about a bunch of other things, so we didn't really get into too much detail or like about why. I don't even know if he would know why actually, but as far as I'm concerned, I knew there was a discrepancy there. There was something weird going on. Like my eye was fine. I felt like the doctor had checked it. He cleared me. I was good to go. Went back in. Um, and then there was that confusion between the two ringside physicians. And
Oh, okay. So maybe because of that, I would have asked. I would have been curious about why.
yeah, well, I mean, another thing, they don't really want
I
you
mean, I
to
would
be
have
like
asked more happily
arguing.
why.
Yeah, they don't. I
But,
mean, they don't want you to be like arguing the case and
yeah.
inside the ring or anything like that. Wait till afterwards and then kind of figure out what happens and like they did overturn it. But like I said, I think there was confusion between both of them. I think one was actually with BKFC, travels around with them. The other one was like CSAC. Um, I don't know if he knew that he had already checked my eye or he just wanted him to check my eye again going into the last round. And
Mm,
then he was like, "Oh, I already did. He's good." And then the referee's like listening to them and going back and forth. And then he just decided, "Oh, I'm just gonna call it right now." And
right.
so that's how that happened. Even though I'm like, at least go to the scorecard. So I know I was up by
I
a
mean,
lot on the scorecard.
BKFC also like it gets bloody, right? That's not
Yeah,
like
it.
I mean,
I don't think the cuts was really the issue. It was the swelling of my left eye.
okay,
It was pretty swollen. So that was the issue with them. I think that's why they wanted to check it. So the cut was below down here. That wasn't any big deal. And then I had another one, I believe, up top here, and that was fine. It's just the swelling that was going on right there, which
do
was a
you do
concern.
do you do your sparring with like boxing gloves or do you use hybrid gloves for sparring?
For
When you
that fight,
prefer bare knuckles, I mean.
I mean that fight I didn't spar at all.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I didn't. It's kind of funny. I told some of the commentators this
okay,
the last time, but I didn't really tell anybody before. I didn't spar at all, and I didn't do like any like actual boxing training for that fight. I just did cardio.
Is it are you like in a Max Holloway mode at this point where like I'm not doing
No,
sparring anymore or it just
no,
so
not
happened
even.
or
It just so happened it turned out that way. So originally, I was supposed to do a mixed martial arts fight. I was fighting for a title for Lights Out. I got injured in that one while I was wrestling. And so I kind of flared up an old injury that I had, and it just was like really bad. I couldn't even move my left arm after it happened, and so it was like a nerve thing, and it was
yeah,
really painful. It's probably I've had it happen a few times, but that was like the worst one that I've had. And I tried to
okay,
wait it out and see if I can continue, and then I ended up having to pull out of that fight. So I was like, I'm not going to go into a title fight. I'm like 2 weeks out, and I can't even barely move my arm at all. So I was like, that's not going to go well, and I'm not going to be able to put on a good performance. Um, let's reschedule it or something. And then as time goes by with like those type of injuries, if you're familiar with it, it starts to get a little bit better. Um, and then I got approached about the BKFC fight, and it's only boxing. So for me, I was like, you know what? I think with the injury, that particular injury that I had, after so much time has gone by, I'll be okay. I won't re-injure it. It's not like I'm gonna get, my neck cranked on. I'm not gonna get slammed on my head or anything like that. I don't have to worry
yeah,
about takedowns. So that's what actually happened. Like I was wrestling, went for a double leg. Um, Guy hit a beautiful switch, and I landed right on my neck, and that's what caused the injury. So in boxing, I don't really have to worry about that. I felt comfortable with it. I just worked my cardio. I stayed away from everything else. Wasn't sparring, like I said, because I didn't want to get hit and, move my neck around too much. And then, yeah, going into the fight, like I felt good. And I think I, put on pretty damn good performance considering. And yeah, I just wish everything would have went perfectly my way. There was a lot of other things going on with that. I didn't even know I was going to fight like
hmm.
until the day before, really.
I
And
think BKFC liked you on the first fight, like that, and then they wanted to bring you back. It seems like you, also I think what happened with the story of the cut, it kind of like made people like take your side, So I think they kind of went like, hey, this guy has potential. Um, and so what? Just one thing I missed. What was the unless you purposely avoided it? What was the MMA organization where you were supposed to fight for the belt?
Oh, I mentioned it. It was Lights Out.
Lights Out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
it's Sean Merriman's organization.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Mm.
had fought for them before for the title, and again, I kind of got screwed over for that one too. It ended up being a draw. You know, that one was a draw, but everyone knows I won that fight as well. My
Okay.
opponent even got a point taken away from him, and somehow they scored it a draw. This is ridiculous. But you watch that fight and let me know what you think.
I'll look it up. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I'll let you know in messages. Um. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. If I was a ref, I'd be like taking points so quickly. I swear. Like. Oh, you thought you got a warning first? Nah. Unless I
Yeah.
generally think like looks like.
Yeah. If
I'd
it's
be
an
like,
accident, it's an accident, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like some fighters would really like me and others would really hate me on that one. But
Yeah. Well, the ones that try to get away with things probably wouldn't like you.
I'd be like, point.
Yeah, that can change the outcome of a fight
Yeah, but
significantly. But
that's
so can the judges. You know, that's why you got to try to go for the finish.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah, but that's the saying. Like I find like, oh, don't leave it to the judges. Yeah, okay, then it's easy to do if people are fighting cans, but as soon as you're fighting on your level, it's
Right.
like,
Yeah, it gets a lot more difficult
the
once
fuck
you
does
get
that
into
mean,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
You still got to try. They want you to try anyway if you want to
no
win.
one's there. Like it's yeah.
You
Um,
know.
and sometimes I think, and you don't need to actually don't comment on this because I
Okay.
don't want to compromise you. This is just me talking. I think on some level, a lot of promoters, vague promoters that shall not be named,
Mhm.
might um, pay lip service to, oh, the judges, it's so bad, but they don't want to change it because they actually want the fighters to be worried about the results and go for a finish. That's my theory, but yeah, whatever.
Makes sense. But like I said, I mean, people want to see finishes. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of people want to see finishes. I personally like to see a good fight. I mean, if the
yeah,
finish
exactly.
happens
It doesn't
on my
matter
end,
if
fine. But
yeah,
yeah,
because sometimes you have like a real like as the kids like to say a banger, and at
mhm.
the end like the two fighters are still up and they're like they hug and like high five, or maybe there's still bad blood, but like if it was like just this like really cool fight, like you know what's the problem here? Like I can think of many fights that the fighters were still standing at the end. Like if memory serves, Poirier and Holloway were still standing like at the end. Like it's just like it's not. I mean, it's also cool, right?
Yeah.
I've liked my share of knockouts on social media, but um,
Yeah,
it's not a
I mean,
must.
I think especially if you're paying for fights, like you probably rather see go a little bit further. I mean, it goes back to like the Mike Tyson days. A lot of people probably get pissed off all the time. It's knocking anybody out in the first round. You know, you pay so much for a pay per view, you're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's. I mean, that's kind of what you get with certain fighters like Ngannou or even Aspinall. But those are heavyweights, of course. When you watch a heavyweight fight, which
Yeah,
Tyson
you
was,
expect
Mike Tyson
knockouts
was a
from those
heavyweight.
ones.
You know, that's always the possibility right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then it's just and then as you go lighter, of course, like looks more like a Dragon Ball anime where the fighters get really quick and
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have had some people say that I'm pretty quick. I have other people say that I don't even fight like a flyweight at all. Um, I've had, quite a few people say that I don't even fight like a flyweight.
sorry. Oh, sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
I've had some people say that, I'm pretty quick with my punches
Yeah,
in my
you are.
striking. And then I've had other people that say that I don't even really fight like I am a flyweight. Like I fight like I'm a heavier weight class. The way that I kind of sit in the pocket and I don't move around like so frequently because I like to stand in the pocket and just swing.
But it's calculated with you.
Yeah, no, it
That's
definitely
the thing.
is.
It's not like you're unable to move. You don't comprehend how you would move from there.
Mhm,
Is that it's part of your boxing game,
mhm.
right? It's
Yeah,
you. It's like sitting on your punches. I don't know if that's a proper
exactly.
term. You tell me,
Yeah,
but
that's one of the things. I mean, if you go back and listen to any commentary, a lot of the times they will commend me on that. That I do sit down on my punches and I'm not wasting a lot of
yeah.
movement in my strikes. And it's true. I don't want to like take these really big, huge movements and then have to get back into position again. So I'm like working more and more on staying in the pocket and just slightly getting out of the way. That way I can counter back right away.
Because you have a know-how, like not everyone knows how to comfortably sit in a pocket, right?
It's
So
definitely something you have to learn.
yeah, like uh, even with professionals, it's especially in MMA or where there's so many disciplines to learn.
Oh,
Oh, let's see there for a
I'm back.
second.
Yeah.
Especially in MMA where there's so many disciplines to learn, like every fighter at some point has to decide what they're gonna like concentrate on, and not all of them know how to do that. So and you see some of them sit in the bucket, but it's not because they know how to like move their head. It's just because they don't even do the movement, right?
Yeah.
um and some make it work anyway somehow. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, you do a thing where you're confident in the fact that you know how to move just enough, and no, it's cool to look, and it's action packed, and this is why I think BKFC liked you, because they um I don't think they like when people kind of like move around too much. They like when they're just the shape of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why the ring's smaller too. And I think the last fight that I had, that ring was a lot smaller than the first time.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I feel like it was a lot smaller. And but yeah, like I was saying before too, like yeah, like you're saying too, they like it when the
Mm-hmm.
action is just like nonstop going. You know, that's what everybody likes to see in BKFC.
Yeah.
Blood, knockouts, close competition like that. And I wanted to do more of that in the last one, but like I said, my breaking my hand that early on was like I had to do the best that I could and still come away with the win.
Yeah.
Using one hand. And the guy that fight is super tough, durable guy.
Yeah. Yeah. To be there in the first place, right? I mean, just for example, and this is no diss at all, but Luke Rockhold, when Mike Perry like
Mhm.
just broke his tooth, he was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm done.
and I've seen that quite a few times.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people talk about it too. It's like some of the guys, they get hit with a shot and they go down, and they look like they can get back up, and they're just like, I'm done. And it's different. Get a hit bare knuckle than it is with gloves on.
I wonder what it is, because to me it's like, to be a professional fighter you have to be so tough already, and I think it's just the unfamiliarity, like I think these people, if they came back for a second time, I don't think it would happen again. It's just that one first time that just caught them by surprise, and in the moment they're like, because they're unfamiliar with it, right? I don't think it's because they weren't tough enough to continue. I think it's more of they just didn't expect it or something, you know what I mean? Like, and it's the
Mhm.
first time, so maybe something that they feel like they're starting again. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Maybe
yeah,
they should have been in some more street fights growing up.
like, I saw a video. Did you see it? The girl who fought in the KFC, who I have no idea how that happened. Her leg snapped. Like I don't know if it was,
Hmm.
yeah, her leg snapped, and she tried to put it back in place and get
Which
up.
card was this? Do you know?
Yo,
Or do you
okay,
have
wait,
the
wait. Let me. You know what? I have a thing here where I'm supposed to be able to share something on the screen.
share?
Okay, wait. Let me try if I can find it. Now, I'm not
Okay.
gonna see the screen, so everyone is
Yeah.
just gonna look at my face,
No
going like
worries.
this, searching for something. But let me see if it's on YouTube. I'm sure BKFC put it on YouTube.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
so let
I've
me
seen
see.
some leg breaks before, but not in
Not in
BKFC.
BK. I'm gonna go BKFC leg break. Let's see if I
And even Lorenzo Hunt's was a dislocation of his arm or something. That's
graphic
why he had to.
injury. Oh no, that's Knucklemania. Yeah, that's BKFC. Yeah. Let me just remove the sound. Okay, I think I should be able to share. I think. Okay, wait. Okay, BKFC, please don't strike me down with the copyright. It's a reaction. We're allowed. Okay, let me see if I can do a. How does this work? I'm gonna try. I'm sure this is very interesting
Let's
right now.
figure it out together.
Yeah, let's see if I do plus new. No, no new. Yeah, present. Uh, share screen. Okay, I think oh my god, I think I got it. Okay, wait. Are you seeing the?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, let's do this. Okay.
I was gonna say it probably happened when she fell. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. She's gonna try to. I think this is the one where she tries to set it back.
Yeah, she's like, oh, let's just fix this real quick. There you go.
Like, I'm not done.
Yeah,
My work shift is
dude,
not over,
she's tough. She's gonna try to stand, huh?
bro.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
No, it's a terrible
Oh,
idea.
oh, even worse. Oh,
I'm laughing out of nervousness, but I'm not laughing at her at
God,
all. Like,
that's so bad.
it,
Yeah, that's painful. Oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, adrenaline.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
This is kind of funny because you see, like, in BKFC, you see Luke Rockhold, like, champion in MMA. Like, I'm like, okay, I broke my tooth, I'm done. And then this girl,
This guy,
we're like, I
she's a
don't know her
warrior.
name, but she tried to set her foot back in place.
Damn. Well, speaking of injuries, I sent you the pictures right now of my hand. You could check it out later if you want. Okay, and sent.
Okay.
So you got three there. There's two of the hand during the surgery, and then there's one of the actual X-ray. You can see the
Oh yeah, I got okay.
titanium in there as
Let's see
well.
if I put this full screen. Woo! Oh, are we allowed to?
Right? That's what I said. You want to take a look at that first.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could we get taken down for this.
I mean, I posted it before, and it just said, um, well, I put a warning beforehand, but then when I put it
Yeah,
on Facebook, they put their own warning just in case people didn't want to see that.
yeah. I don't know if it would get the if someone were to be like, haha, I'm gonna get him taken down. Okay, I'm gonna show the hand there, the X-ray.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. It's a cool picture. Okay, so I just saw the images, but we're not gonna share them on the screen because they're very graphic. I don't know if it could get the video taken down or not. It's basically yeah, the hand open and you see like the metal object there, and so that oh yeah, so I see where the I mean I'm describing it, but you see where they put the screws there. So it's interesting. It's like the thing has like little holes for like screws, I guess. To
Yeah, so it's got three going down, and then that's like connecting it. And then there's another three. I think you can only really see two of them going horizontally. And then there's one space that's open that doesn't have a screw in it. And
yeah.
that's where the bone was actually snapped right there. So they didn't want to actually put
Oh
it
right,
into it.
they're not gonna put it through there. It's like an L. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so that's why there's an empty space there. That's where the thing is healing. And does that need to be replaced after a few years, or
No, he said that's I should be good for life.
okay? Because I know that at some point in my old channel, Bruno's MMA show, where we had our first chat, um, Tim Sylvia had issues with his arm. Like he had like and it was getting infected or something. But maybe it was like an earlier. I don't know if it changed over the years or now it's like
I hope so, right? They learn more and they start doing better things for us. I can't. I
um
broke my hand at the right time.
yeah, right. Or I don't know, he had like an infection, but for him it was the whole arm, when he got his arm broken, and the UFC wouldn't pay for it because he wasn't with them anymore, even though he got the injury at UFC. And you don't need to
Yeah.
comment on any of this, by the way. But yeah, but I don't know the why. I don't know if it was a material or just another factor that had nothing to it. Also, it was much bigger, right? Your thing is like
Right.
just a little thing
Yeah.
there. Yeah, like I mean, McGregor got himself a titanium leg now. He
Yeah.
says
Did he show pictures of that?
he must have, right? I
Probably.
feel
I
like
haven't
he's the
seen
kind
it,
of guy
so
who would have
probably.
shown it in detail. And like he
Kind
was
of. I
saying,
wonder
he
if
had
he
that
actually
Terminator
did.
leg or something like that. I think
Mhm. Yeah,
an
they always
unbreakable
joke
leg.
around about that. Yeah, I wonder how that works and where the plate is on the shin. Because, like, I mean, for me with my hand, it's down here. So, like, when I hit somebody, there's no impact in my knuckles. So, like it's not even there. Um, but to be on your shin, I
Yeah,
guess that would be a different story, right?
I'm like, if you check that kick, is it like you just check the baseball bat, or because I have so many questions about that. But I think Ferguson also had like something in one of his arms, right? Because he broke an arm. Tony Ferguson at some point had a
I don't even remember.
yeah, like
Maybe
because
possibly.
I know that in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s, there's a Muay Thai fighter
Uh,
who got himself like implants in his shins, but for no other reason than to cheat.
Okay, I was gonna
And he
ask
got
about
caught.
that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean implants. I make it sound like a cyberpunk, but like you just got like metal.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Wait, just like
but that is pretty wild because I mean, yeah, if you have something there and it
metal
hardens the fist or
shins.
the shin like that, that's pretty dangerous, I would think. But I mean, I don't. That's what I'm wondering because it's not like it's going to be under too many layers, especially for the shin, because you can feel the bone.
Yeah, I'm not finding it because when metal shins, it's all like shin conditioning and it's like just a
Yeah, you're gonna have
metaphorical
to do a
metal
deep
shin.
dive on that one.
Yeah, look, I'm going by memory from decades ago, so
Yeah,
take it with a grain of salt, right? Might have been a story someone made up in the early days of the internet. I don't know, but
good luck with that.
yeah, like someone decided to be Wolverine. But I
Somebody
wonder
out there knows.
because okay, so if he has like first of all, I don't know if it looks like what you have in your hand or if it's a completely different matter, but does it cover the whole bone? Is it just a thing that goes along it? Because that would be very different already.
Mhm.
Um, like, does it cover the front? And then is
That's
the
what I was
bone
wondering. Yeah,
inside? If there's an impact, is the bone inside because it broke before more fragile now for a shin? Like I have so many questions.
yeah. I know. Maybe they went through the backside of the leg behind the calf or something. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, no, but he was saying that he had a titanium unbreakable shin now,
Mhm.
which could be just
Well, because like I said, like with my bone, they put the tiny titanium plate, right over the break,
yeah.
and then right in the middle, drilled it together to keep it. And I'm assuming that would be the same thing they did to connect
Yeah,
his
but it's
bone
still
to it.
human bone in there, like so. So for you,
Yeah,
for example, for you, it changes. It doesn't change anything as far as
no,
fairness or whatever. You're not hitting people with a
exactly.
like a what do you call the metal
Brass
things?
knuckles.
Brass knuckle. You don't have
Yeah,
like inner brass knuckles. It's here,
yeah,
so it's like
right.
like they're still your knuckles. That'd be interesting though. Do some people have like metal knuckles? And
I don't think they would. I mean, I don't think you'd get past the athletic commission with that, with
but
that
what if it's from a
permanent bone.
legit injury? It just so happens that medically that was the correct way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would, allow you to compete like that though. I mean,
I
because
have
they're
no
pretty
idea.
strict on everything. And like I've been going through so many medical stuff with
Yeah,
especially with California, the athletic commission, and they're like on it with everything, getting clearance, making sure you have the right clearances from the right types of doctors. And even when you get that to them, sometimes like that's not even enough. They're like, oh, we need more. We need correct verbiage, this and that. So it's a hassle, and for good reason. So
yeah,
I just don't see anybody really getting too far with something like that. If that were the case, they'd probably catch it. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I guess it depends on where they're fighting.
yeah.
If
Of
it's
course,
sanctioned or not.
this is all with bare knuckle. If you start having padded gloves and all that, becomes less of a
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. We got a bit off track there, but
Interesting
theorizing
nonetheless.
theorizing about like metal implants for fighting. Um, so do you have anything lined up right now? I mean, I know you're healing, but is there something that's supposedly in the works or?
So I'm waiting. Originally, I really wanted to get on the September card out in Salt Lake. I'm living in the area right now, out in Utah, so I was hoping to jump on that card. This is gonna take me back a little bit, but I'm gonna get X-rays done in about 5 weeks from now, and I might be able to get cleared. So if I could get something in November, December, that would be cool. I did have to turn down a couple of title fights already, but in mixed martial arts. So I'm really hoping to get those in. There was one that I was really looking at before. I think it would be a really fan friendly fight, stylistic wise, great matchup. I won't say anything about it right now. If it comes to fruition, then I'll let everybody know. But I
Yeah.
think it'd be a really good matchup with somebody. I think that's probably in the top five, top 10 in the United States.
Cool.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So it'd be a really good fight. And then there was another fight that I had to pass up just recently as well. And that one's going to be taking place in September. Somebody else had to take that spot, but so it's like two big fights, UFC Fight Pass. It would have been great for me if I just didn't have this injury, but it's going to heal up, be stronger than it was before. Um, and then having this split instead of the traditional cast is going to
Yeah.
be a huge difference for me, I feel, because now, I mean, I could take this on and off, and I'm doing all my physical therapy with it, and I'm, making leaps and bounds with my progress. I think I can almost make a fist now. When like a couple weeks ago, I could barely get it to like this much.
Mm.
So huge difference for me there. And then I could still do cardio, working out my lower legs. I don't have to worry about it getting all gross and sweaty because I
Oh
can
yeah,
just
right.
switch
With the
switch things
cast, it
out.
would be like,
Yeah, it
yeah.
would be disgusting. So, and I can go for runs and do all that stuff. So I want to keep it up. And luckily, the doctor, the surgeon that was working on me, he trains in jujitsu, and he really helped me out a lot. So I really appreciate him, and he knows how much I want to get back into it and take the least amount of time off as possible. So he's really helping me get through
That
this and
helps
recover.
with the when the medical people understand the
Oh,
matter
so much.
because yeah, one time I got ringworm from grappling, and it's you just get the right cream and that's it, right? And I went, and it's like okay, and it wasn't my temple, like it was like such an annoying place too, right? It's like right there.
Mhm.
It's not even like
You can't hide that very well.
yeah, no, but it was annoying because I had to work with a band-aid, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
almost like I'm always like if it was the leg or something, like but it's like I had a band-aid here. I think
Right.
I have some like holiday pictures of me with a band-aid there.
You should see some of the pictures I had to take after my eye. I had strained like whatever the muscle in my eyelid, and
Yeah.
for like weeks I couldn't even open my own eyelid. And it was
So you're
like
like always
healed up.
winking.
Yeah, it was healed up and like it wasn't swollen anymore, but I couldn't like lift my eyelid up. So I literally got, like the war tape that you use, and I taped two strips to my eyelid and I lifted it up. So I was walking around with two strips of tape right there. I remember I was at the club one time watching the Canelo fight,
Yeah.
and this guy come up to me. He's like, "No way!" He's like, "You got the tape and everything right there. That's cool." But yeah, it's like in my eyes, all bloodshot red. I looked crazy. My scars were healing up.
It's like
It was wild.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I'll send you that one too, so you can take a look at it. It's pretty
That's so
crazy.
funny. But yeah, what I was gonna say is I had to go back. So I'm in Canada, right?
Mhm.
So it's universal healthcare, but it also means that for small things, if I didn't have a family doctor back then, so you wait like many hours to see someone. And I wait hours and hours, and I get told, "Nah, it's probably not that." And I was like, "No, but listen, I do grappling, like it's ringworm." And they just I don't know, and they sent me with something else, and didn't do the trick. I had to go back like twice and
Oh,
spend
just wait till
another
the
bunch
sun
of
is
hours. And
coming.
like, "Lo, listen, you need to." And the doctor was super condescending. He's like, "Look, I don't think it's that, but just because you keep asking, here it is, the prescription." And I was finally able
Yeah,
to get rid of the ringworm. There's stories of people who didn't want to like drain their own cauliflower ear. I
cauliflower.
never got one, but they didn't want to do it, and then they go to a nurse and they have to explain it, and it takes a long time. And they're like, I should just drain it myself. Go to the pharmacy, get a needle, a syringe
Yeah.
rather,
Yeah,
and
just keep it. It's a badge of honor.
yeah, well, some of us do other stuff for a living,
Yeah,
but and want to be able to put like pods in our
yeah.
ears and stuff.
Hey, do
Yeah, I
whatever
know,
just as well.
I know. I never got one, but then again, then it's not like I've trained like a professional eater, so I don't know if I would or not. Some people never like. I think Royce Gracie just never got one.
You know what? All the cauliflower that I have is not even from grappling. So yeah, it just takes one heavy hit to get like the one I have with my left ear. You can't see it right now, but it's probably it's not that bad, but it's worse than the right one, and that was from a head kick.
Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, boxers, especially old school boxers, have those a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and alternatively, at some point I hurt my shoulder, and I think I threw a hook wrong or something in sparring, and the guy who fixed it at work at some point they were giving us like a free massages because something went really wrong, and to kind of make it up for us, they give us like free massages. And the guy just happened to be a sports. Like he did massages for a baseball team at some point, and he
Okay.
told me that my injury was the same as the guys who were like throwing the ball all the time, right?
Right.
So, and he, for me, it's like, oh, it's the shoulder, but he actually was working the
It's like a
back.
rotator cuff or something.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was kind of like here. So if I threw a
Mhm.
hook, because I think what happened is I didn't involve my bicep as much as I was stupidly trying to use my shoulder muscle to do it back then.
Mhm.
I mean, mostly with the hips, but like
Right.
the other muscles involved. I think what happened was I got it in my head that it was so much about the hips that I wasn't involved. I think I wasn't involving my bicep enough, and I kind of like threw my arm like a whip.
Yeah.
I
I get
think.
what you're saying.
And since then, I kind of learned to like not do that shit. But I don't know how to explain it other than that. Kind of like my bicep needs to be more involved in the matter. If that
Mhm.
makes sense. I don't know if it does.
I feel like I know what you're saying.
And the guy, maybe someone's like, what the F? And what was interesting,
Throw a few thousand hooks and then you'll get it.
but especially when you miss, and you're like,
That's the worst.
yeah. So I think what happened is I went like Indiana Jones with his whip, but with my arm.
Mhm.
So I kind of whipped my arm. So
It makes perfect sense to me because I've done that plenty of times. I mean,
because
I'll hurt my neck sometimes throwing a punch and missing. I'm like, oh,
well, how
I'd
did
rather have
how do you
punched the
do
fence or
that? I
something.
don't even understand. Like,
It's like you're saying, it's like that whip
oh,
because
because you probably
you wanna
slip as
whip.
you throw, right?
I do.
Yeah, that would do it. I get it. Okay, that which means I don't slip enough because I didn't even get it at first. Um, but what happened? I was fighting a southpaw a lot in sparring, and I would do this like step and left hook to
Mhm.
close that distance, and I would catch him a lot with that because normally people are like southpaw. Oh my god, I don't know what to do, but for whatever reason, I kind of like to do this. I kind of go like I do a step and I kind of turn with my foot kind of goes like this and I
Mhm.
turn into it. But if you miss, I just whip my arm like an idiot. So the guy was
Live and
interesting
learn.
because he would go and you wouldn't make a link like this like like boxing, kickboxing and baseball, but so the guys are always like throwing, right? So in their case they're really almost like I don't know, well, I don't know shit about baseball, but I guess it's an injury they get often in the shoulder, and the guy was mostly working my back muscles, interestingly enough,
And that helped you a lot.
and I held my shoulder, so he
Yeah.
touched the shoulder a bit, but it was mostly like stuff connected to it, which is fascinating to me. But and the guy
Hey,
knew, and that was it. That fixed it. I had that thing
goes
for
to
like
show.
6 months, and that was fixed.
If you have a sports related injury, you got to see somebody that knows what they're doing. It's been
Yeah,
in sports, because they
yeah,
really help you a lot more.
yeah. And like I'm just a hobbyist, and I've got like pains in my foot now and my hip, and so when people go like, "Hey, well, I'm going into martial arts for to get in shape," I'm like, look, it's an awesome thing to do. It's fun, do it. But if you do it to get in shape, like stick to cardio kickboxing or something, because
Yeah, if you're going intense like fight training, you're just gonna injure yourself even more probably.
oh, but even as a hobbyist, like unless you're doing like katas or something, but if you're doing sparring, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
You know, accidents will
it
happen.
happens, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking to you. You're like, yeah, that's cute.
Oh, I don't know. I don't find it as a hobby. No, I enjoy it.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind we don't like. I never got knocked out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're like, that's cute, Bruno. I just got a metal piece in my hand, Bruno. I'm talking to you like a ringworm.
That's the closest you can get. Yeah, throw some nail polish remover on that shit, man.
Listen, listen,
Okay,
listen,
don't do that.
listen. I got a microfracture in my left foot, okay, and it still hurts a little bit. So you know.
Yeah, from kicking.
No, not even. From defending a takedown wrong in BJJ.
Mm,
I kind of like stepped wrong. I don't know what I did, and my toe just went. And I don't know where it is exactly. I know it was a microfracture, and the thing is, I kept training. I kept doing kickboxing, so I kept kicking with it. I
oh
kept doing the
shit.
rope, everything like an idiot for a few months, and then eventually I was like, you know what, this thing is not going away. Maybe I should. No, for a few weeks. Sorry, no months. And then by the time I went, they're like, it's almost healed already. We would have put you in a cast if you had come earlier, but now it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And now it still hurts, so I guess it just healed wrong, or like. But
Yeah, we gotta stop being so much tough guys and just go get checked out sometimes. I guess.
the thing is, I wasn't doing it. This is the funny bit. Like I'm a geek, Like I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I just didn't want to stop because it's fun to do it.
Right.
So it's not even like this like macho thing. I just was like, I don't want to sit out. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
So, but it's
I,
okay. It's like no, but I don't know, man. It's part of people who ski. That to me is skiing is scary to me.
yeah, I've been down the slopes a couple times, and I could definitely see. I mean, you could die pretty easily. You hit a tree going down, or you can't stop correctly. That's pretty dangerous, and that snow is unforgiving, especially when it gets wet. I messed up my knee one time. I think it was like the first time I went snowboarding. I was like, yeah, let me go down this jump that everybody's been doing all day, every day. I did it the next morning, but it had got wet and icy. So when I landed, I could hear this crunch in my knee, and I fell down, and I'm laying in the snow, and I'm sweating, and like something's wrong if I'm sweating
In the
surrounded by
snow.
snow. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely
I think
dangerous.
I think people die every year from skiing and snowboarding. I'm just gonna say skiing, but
Mm,
encompassing every object you put your feet on and go fast down the hill. Um, every I think every year people get paralyzed. People like they die on this like more than people from doing BJJ or boxing from again as
yeah,
a hobby, you know. Um, but yeah, ski is actually really it's kind of funny because it's seen as this like family. I've even seen people ski with babies, dude.
really.
Yeah, I mean they go in the easy slopes, but it's still kind of
Yeah,
like they ski with the babies on them.
they're probably really good because you won't catch me doing that.
I I wouldn't even like me. I'm like I wouldn't put a baby on a bike even like. I
But
mean,
yeah,
especially not actually, but yeah. So ski is kind of it's funny to me because it's seen as this, like oh you practice MMA that's hardcore, and then they go skiing, and to me like that is way more scary.
yeah. There's a lot of sport. I mean, I used to skateboard back in the day, and that's pretty unforgiving too, landing on concrete and handrails all the time.
So how many times have you landed wrong on the handrail?
You know what? Honestly, not that many times, thank God. I have done the credit card before, but when you skate for long enough, it's gonna happen. But thankfully, I haven't had any like really serious injuries from skateboarding. Just a lot of falls.
But you think that skateboarders will start wearing a cup, right?
I never even thought about it. Even this is the first time I ever thought about that, and I did it for
Yeah, man,
years.
you're gonna go down the hand. I would wear if look. I don't do that. I don't think I had the athleticism or agility to do that. But if I were skateboarding down a handrail, I would definitely wear a cup.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think in my mind, or just in general, like going down not just handrails but stairs in general, anything like that. The thing that I was worried about the most is probably like just landing on my ankle wrong or landing on the board wrong and twist the ankle, which I've done, and just it takes a long time to heal from those.
Yeah, in your case, you're missing out work, like you told me. Like you had opportunities that you had to skip
Yeah,
on.
I don't really skateboard anymore like
Yeah.
that. I might
No, but I
cruise
mean, if you
around
get
on it, but
injured,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's
If I
funny
were to
for
go out
you.
and do it
Yeah,
now, yeah, no, that wouldn't be smart. I think there's stuff in contracts for that. You don't want to get injured doing other things you shouldn't be doing if you have something coming up.
Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense. Right. That makes it. Yeah. Like Tom Cruise has to. I think he's big enough to get away with it, but most people can do movies and do the stuff he does.
Yeah, that guy can do everything though, so he probably does whatever he wants.
Well, I think he does whatever Scientology tells him he can do.
There you go. That's a better answer.
He's like, "Can I see my daughter?"
Apparently, which is
Nah,
wrong.
nah, don't do that. Okay.
But you ride a motorcycle off the Grand Canyon if you like.
Yeah, you can hook up to a helicopter and go up in
Yeah,
the air, but don't see your daughter though. Okay,
that's
she's not.
wild stuff.
Anyway, okay, Victor, thank you for coming, and I'll put your links down below. So just send to me a message any link you want me to put of yours.
Okay.
Any parting words before we conclude?
I mean, thank you again for having me on. It's always a pleasure speaking with you and always having a good time. And yeah, thanks for letting me share my story with everybody.
Oh well, it's a pleasure, and whether it's bare knuckle boxing or MMA, just I'll keep my eye out on your next fight, and I'll look up the one you was it. What was the organization? The one you told me to check out?
Oh, so it was for Lights Out.
Lights Out. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
look it up.
you should find there's a couple on there. I mean, they're both good fights.
Yeah.
One of
You
them
know,
I
I've,
think
I've
is
seen you have a few fights on YouTube, Victor Rosas, and I put MMA, and you do have a
yeah, and
few.
if I want to say it's like LXF 10 and then 12 is the other one that I did.
Okay.
But yeah, those two are both Lights Out. But yeah, so I'll be back, as soon as I can. Like I said, whether it's MMA or if it's another bare knuckle fight, I mean, I'm down for any of that. I'll get into it. If it's competition, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, everyone, thank you for watching, Victor. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.